House Republicans have subpoenaed nearly a dozen former federal officials and politicians, including Bill and Hilary Clinton, amid an expanding investigation into pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. As we know, Bill Clinton, he reportedly flew on Epstein's jet, the Lolita Express, up to 26 times. Josh, what do you make of this? Are you confident or not really that we'll really get more information about Epstein and those around him from this investigation?
Well, I personally can't wait to see Clinton go. That is Bill Clinton, Slick Willie himself. I can't wait to see Slick Willie go before the House Oversight Committee, Congressman James Comer of Kentucky. I mean, that's going to be must-see TV. I mean, make me a fat bag of popcorn. I'll put my feet on the table and I'll watch that all day long. I mean, Gabriella, when Pam Bondi and Kash Patel at the DOJ and the FBI released, to mixed reaction at best, their announcement that there was no list, to that Epstein did indeed kill himself and so forth there, it struck me right away that one of the most obvious things that Trump's defenders should have done, even at that time, was say, wait, you're gonna say that Donald Trump is covering up because he might be in the Epstein files? Have you talked about Bill Clinton, this guy who was literally on the plane 26 times? Yeah, I mean, the Wall Street Journal currently being sued by Donald Trump there. I mean, they had this article there talking about this, this 50th birthday card Trump there. Maybe he wrote it, maybe he didn't. I don't know. We'll see what the lawsuit happens there. But, on the one hand, you have Donald Trump allegedly doing his 50th birthday card once with like a little, lascivious drawing. On the other hand, we literally know for a fact, based on the manifest, that Clinton was on this plane dozens of times there. So it's really just absurd. Now, where is this ultimately going to go? I don't know. Apparently, there was actually just a major meeting in Washington just over the past 12 to 16 hours or so between J.D. Vance and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi trying to talk about what the administration's response should be to the Epstein files. Gabrielle, my personal take is essentially as follows. I am not a huge fan of the way the administration has handled this. I also think that it is very, very, very far from the median Trump voters' primary concern there. The Trump administration is currently winning on virtually all fronts. They're firing on all cylinders right now. And I think that the sooner they can find some way to try to satisfy all sides, move on, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, finally, it's been revealed and reported that two of the largest banks kicked Donald Trump and his money out following pressure from the Biden administration's banking regulators after the January 6th riots. So the New York Post reports that JP Morgan and Bank of America debanked President Trump. Trump says that he thinks banks discriminate against many conservatives, and the White House is preparing an executive order that'll instruct regulators to review banks for politicized or unlawful debanking practices. What are your thoughts on this?
So debanking has been one of the under-the-radar biggest issues facing America for at least 6, 7, 8 years, give or take. This has happened to a lot. I literally personally know people, many people actually, who have lost their bank accounts, their Venmo, PayPal, or they're just checking your credit card accounts due to their political beliefs. This has been happening actually for a very, very long time. It's really not that dissimilar to our issues here when it comes to big tech, when it comes to being deplatformed or censored or shadow banned there. It's a very similar dynamic happening when it comes to financial institutions. By the way, Gabriella, there's no logical reason why it necessarily has to stop just with banks. I mean, what about your local dentist, your local doctor? Are they going to stop serving you because you happen to be a Trump supporter there? So for all these reasons, I have actually been of the opinion, and I think a lot of conservatives will disagree with what I'm going to say, but I've actually been of the opinion that when it comes to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which we were just talking about in the context of higher education, which essentially has protected classes of nationality, of race, sex, gender, et cetera there. I actually think that rather than try to pull off the impossible of repealing these statutes, namely America's civil rights law, I think it would be a more prudent gesture to actually codify political belief as a protected class status. That would essentially mean that it would be illegal under America's civil rights laws to discriminate against a conservative when it comes to banking, legal services, dental services, accounting, any of the above there.